What are you doing, Dad?
Hey there, Hollywood.
Hey there. Have you been taking video?
No, I haven't.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Guilty.
So you want to come down inside and I'll show you what I'm doing.
Okay. It's just so cool, Dad.
I can't believe, I can't tell you how cool this is.
This is...
You know, concrete is always the stage that eats my lunch. And once the concrete's done, I'm home free. I can do the rest of the stuff. Welcome back to Building at the Woods. We're homesteading here in Western Michigan. We're happy to share our experience and show you what we're doing. Come along for the ride. Once we start building interior walls here, we've got to fasten them to the concrete. And so these walls will get ram set, concrete nails down into the concrete. And you don't want to try to attach your wall to a piece of styrofoam. So what I've been doing is I've been going through and cutting a channel that goes all the way back to the concrete. And what we'll do is we'll frame this wall in, and this board will go right in that space, and then we'll attach it to the concrete wall.
How many days post-concrete?
What, we're 4 now? 5?
Day 4. I can get 3 at a time.
What are we working on, babe?
Interior walls in the basement. Green's outdoor gym.
Come on, 5 more. So Karen and I are out here tonight starting to tear apart our pile of stashed lumber. We're looking at the lumber that's stacked over here and saying, what do we need for building walls in the basement? And kind of taking some estimates and carting that lumber from here over to the finished basement area. So this is the wood that we brought over so far today. Some of it we've just stacked in piles here on the main level. And some of it we've actually slid over the wall into the basement. As we make counts on how much we need for the basement walls, we'll go ahead and stack that along here so we can just pull from it and assemble these walls. Welcome to the Greens Outdoor Lumber Yard. With the quantities of lumber that were beginning to accumulate around the building site, it did start to look like a lumber yard. But I didn't have everything that I needed, so we even had to run to the lumber yard to get some more things like 2x12s for headers. So a lot of this lumber that's sitting here is actually lumber that we bought a couple years ago. While we were going through the COVID pandemic, we saw wild fluctuations in lumber prices. You can think about lumber prices in relationship to an index. Lumber pricing is at a wholesale market is done by how much dollars per 1,000 board feet of lumber material. And so before COVID, it was upper 400s, lower 500s per 1,000 board feet. During COVID, it went all the way to 1,700. Most of the time we don't think in terms of thousands of board feet and how much it costs per 1,000. We tend to think of it in terms of like what's the price of a 2x4, an 8-foot long 2x4, or we think of it in terms of what's a sheet of plywood costs or a sheet of OSB. During the pandemic, when the prices were high, a 2x4 8 feet long costs $10. Right now it costs $3.30. So you can see triples of the price. So going from 500 per 1,000 board feet up to 1,700 board feet translates pretty equally into like the price of a 2x4 going from $3.30 to $10. We were watching prices during COVID, and yeah, it had that really high spike up to 1,700 per 1,000 board foot. And we saw it come back down, went to about 800, went back up to 1,200, came down to about 600, got into the 500s. We said, hey, we have no idea what the future of lumber prices are going to be, but we want to build a house. So we're going to go ahead and just do kind of a rough off the top of our head estimate of how many 2x6s and 2x4s and sheets of plywood we need. And we're going to buy them right now while the price is what we think is as reasonable. And so over here on the side of our property, we actually have quite a bit of lumber that's part of our framing package sitting underneath these tarps, and it's been sitting there for 2 months. Excuse me, it's been sitting there for 2 years, just waiting for us. We've been digging into it. Maybe we pulled, what, a third of it over here to the building site. It's looking good, so I think it was a good move.
Old crusty wood, nice new wood, purchased today. It actually isn't that bad.
Oh, it'll be fine.
It will work just fine.
Well, we're up at the crack of noon today. Looking good, looking fine, feeling good, yeah. Feeling stiff and sore.
Stiff and sore.
We've been hauling wood, getting it all stacked and ready to do some wall building. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start building a wall or two. We've got a helper down here. This is a budding apprentice at the Papa Green Building School. Can you say hi, buddy? He says, I'm ready to cut wood, Dad.
Not quite.
Not quite. Okay. Well, we got our chop saw set up because we're going to have to cut studs to length. And the question of what length to cut is kind of on top of our mind right now. Okay, so I've done a quick diagram here of elevations and what we're thinking about. Here's our concrete wall that's set, and we've got a slab down here. We're not positive the slab is 100% even all the way across. So what our goal is to get this point in space consistent. And so that means we're going to build a little wall on top of the concrete wall. We're going to build interior studs that go from wherever that concrete floor lands in space up to that fictitious line that we're going to design. So we're going to put our transit up here at this level, and then we'll just measure everywhere where we're building a wall. We're using the transit. You can see I've got it perched up there on that wall over there, and it's shooting a level line over the entire area of our building. And so what we're doing is we're building our walls, we're building up to the level of that laser line. By making sure that our elevations of all our walls are at the same elevation, when we put the BCIs or the I-joists across the walls, they'll lay nice and flat, and you won't have any place where you're either not hitting your support wall or humping up over a support wall that's a little too tall. So the other part of the transit is this little device right here. This senses the laser beam sent out from the transit and tells you whether or not you're too high or too low. Let's go see where we're at. So on top of the wall that we built here, the way we check and confirm our elevation of the wall is we put an additional 2x piece of material on, and the laser beam actually should show up right here at this line, at this elevation. Turn this device on, let it calibrate. All right, it's ready. As you get close, it'll start to beep. If it beeps really fast, you know that you're a little too high, and if it beeps slow, you're a little too low. Well, I'm about an 1/8 inch too tall, but that's gonna be okay. That's well within my tolerances. Here's a board that I just attached to the edge of the concrete here. And on that board, we actually marked where the laser line was coming in. And we've actually got the laser line 1.5 inches higher than what we actually want the top floor plate to be. And so you see here on this 2x6, I went ahead and marked where the laser was, where the top plate should be. And so then we just built this wall to those heights.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Hey, you want to ask Daddy for some water, Casey?
Daddy, can I have water, please?
Nope.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you may.
Silly.
Oh, look at that. Grandpa also has water. This is very cool.
Got some window openings still to frame out. Kyle reminded me that we need some insulation in there. So, yeah, we're not going to tack those up quite yet. So I think the first objective for today will be to take this wall that comes this direction and build that out so that it meets up with this outside corner. That will also help define this room, give us a sense of just how much space is in there. Also finishes defining this hallway.
The shadow. It's looking so good, Dad. Remind me why? Wait, so okay, I thought interior walls could be 2x4s.
So it's got an 8x8 post in it, so we're building it out as 2x8s.
Yes.
So that when you look at the wall, there's no weird bump in the wall.
Gotcha. What about the rest of the walls?
So this wall right over here,
Mm-hmm.
this is actually a bearing wall for the roof up above. You know, if you go up all the way, the
trusses.
rafters coming down from this main section land on this roof, on this wall.
Gotcha.
Land on this wall. This one here is going to be a 2x6 wall just because I'm going to put plumbing in. It's way easier to do with plumbing.
Gotcha.
Thicker wall.
Okay, I guess I do see a little 2x4 wall over there. I just see a lot of 2x6 walls, and I'm just like, wait, the interior walls didn't have to have 2x.
Probably could have been 2x4s because they're just bearing that floor above.
Yeah.
But
Beefy is better, says Paul Green.
Beefy is better. Well, with what little bit of daylight we had left, we pushed through to raise yet one more wall. We're making good progress, and it's going well. We've got a few more walls that have to go up and a major beam, and then we'll be ready to put on the main floor. Stay tuned. We'll show you all this in our next video. As always, like and subscribe and all that stuff. See you on the next one.